Good evening, everyone. Todd Greco here for the sixth week in a row, as promised, with your weekly school finance lesson. This week, I want to talk to you about one of the most popular questions that I get when I'm talking with families, community members, and staff here at school, and that's school district consolidation. There's no secret that one of our neighboring school districts, Eustisford, is struggling with some of their financial situation at this current time. And as a result of that, they've reached out to a number of surrounding districts, Dodgeland being one of them, to see if consolidation would potentially be an option for their future moving forward. As a prudent decision, our school board has elected to investigate this further to see if this is something that would make sense for our kids and for our community. And so we are in the beginning stages of looking into that. Whether that decision is a good one or not a good one, we don't know that yet, and we'll be making that decision later on this year. But again, that decision is solely based on whether or not that's good for Dodgeland. Consolidation is something that's laid out in Wisconsin statute where two or more school districts come together to form a new reorganized school district. Some factors that need to be considered, of course, are assets and liabilities. And I would say the number one thing that people ask as a follow-up to consolidation is, what about debt? That's top of everybody's mind. Does the debt of the other school district have to be taken on by Dodgeland? And the answer to that question, in a consolidated district, yes, Dodgeland would assume debt from another district. But at the same time, that other district would also assume the debt that Dodgeland brings to the equation, because again, we are forming a new entity, a new school district. Mill rates, which equal the tax levy, we want to make sure that those are kind of comparable. We don't want any wild swings there. School board representation probably would be impacted here in Dodgeland. We have 9 members in a consolidated arrangement. Another district or 2 districts would also bring members to the table. Obviously, all of those members would not remain, and the newly formed district would create their own board, and that would have a result here in Dodgeland where we would be afforded less voice and less representation than what we currently are used to. And probably the next most important ones, transportation of students to and from school, and then the curriculum course offerings and extracurricular opportunities, which really help to support the overall school identity and pathways forward for students on their future and their educational journey. That's the number one thing, in my opinion, that we need to consider if we're looking at potential consolidation. For more information, I'd encourage you to look at the Wisconsin Association of School Boards website. There you could find a presentation, probably the same one that was presented last night in the Eustisford School District around consolidation, and you could dig into that further to obtain answers to any follow-up questions that you might have. How this will affect our referendum: if we were to move forward at a later date and consolidate with another school district, the first 2 years of our referendum, we would obtain the $700,000 to exceed the revenue cap. But then in the final 2 years of the referendum, we would receive zero. And so the reason for that is because it's a newly formed school district and the new finances would have to be determined. That's all I have for you this week. If you have any questions, certainly don't hesitate to reach out to me by email, phone, or stop by. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.